morning. Monday. It is Monday. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic weekend. I am excited. I'm always excited about getting back in front of the charts. It is the 29th. It is my son's birthday. Last few days of the month of July. Man, the 2024 has flown by. I think it's because of the U.S. elections. My mind has been on U.S. elections, and I've just been so engulfed in all of that whole debacle. But it has created a lot of volatility in the markets overall, and I'm excited to see what today's gonna look like. Let's see. There we go. Are we live? Give me a solid, as ICT says, a 5 by 5, a thumbs up. Let me know you can hear me. Everything's sounding good on your guys' end. It says I got everything I need, so we should be good. We're going to go over our higher time frame analysis. We're going to be reviewing, go over our monthly objective and look at what this next month's objective could be. So this will be a good higher time frame analysis. We'll go over our initial analysis, but give me a if you like the stream, I appreciate that. But in the chat, give me a thumbs up to make sure I hear everybody. Make sure you guys can hear me. Just let me know. Give me a thumbs up in the chat, just so I know we're all good to go. It's always appreciative of that, as well as requires engagement on the other side of the screen. Okay, so we're going to be, I got to wait till I get some type of thumbs up. I know there's people on the other end of this, so let me know you can hear me. That's all I need. That's what I'm looking for. I hope you're having a good day today. How was your guys' weekend? How was the weekend? Morning, CM. Good morning. Okay. Can you hear me all right? I'll take that as my thumbs up that I got the green light. So I dropped in I got access to community notes on our community posts on YouTube. So I dropped on there our outlook for the entire week. We have no news today. And then we got news the rest of the week, and we got NFP on Friday, which makes the week very unique. Whenever you have a large moving news release like NFP, CPI, FOMC, those are the three. Normally on a no news Monday, we don't trade. We don't do live accounts, but it is at a user's discretion on no news Mondays when we have NFP on Friday. Monday can actually be a pretty decent trading day. So I'm gonna thumb between my eval account and my live trading account, and we're gonna be trading those today. Right now I have loaded my eval account, but we'll see what kind of setups we see. And I think today could be some decent. I have a pretty simple analysis on where I think the market's going to go. I think we're going to run into this daily fair value gap. I would really like us to run all the way up to the consequent encroachment of that daily Wednesday candle. That is my ideal analysis. So I'm bullish. I'm not looking to take anything short unless there's an obvious, equal lows. There was an equal low right here. I just grabbed a couple handles before stream. There's these nice equal lows. We had this 1 minute fair value gap. We closed below it with a large candle. We had some retracement, but after I saw that we were still looking and kind of heavy, I went short just for a couple handles. It wasn't very big, but it was a small little move. So now that we've hit that, we've completed what looks to be a market maker sell model on the lower time frames. This is the 1 minute time frame. So on the daily, I perceive as bullish, or we're going to have some type of retracement. So I'm looking for price to move up into the daily time frame, specifically the consequent encroachment of the daily fair value gap from last Wednesday. That is my target. That's what I would like to see. We have our previous day high right here that we are sitting at, or sitting below, and we have our midnight open sitting right here. And we also have 30 minutes for the 4 hour. So we got 1 minute till open. Let's see, 29 seconds till open. Let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens. We filled this fair value gap on the 4 hour already, and we've already grabbed liquidity on the 4 hour above this. We just left the previous days, I say PPDH, the previous day high. That is from Friday, or from Thursday. That's Thursday's price action, and that is really my target to run into my initial break into the initial fair value gap, the daily fair value gap. So there's price opening. We are now open for business. Interesting how ES hit the daily fair value gap and NQ did not. Yeah, I give it a little bit this morning, CM. I think that NQ will do that. I mean, it has to come up to at least the fair value gap. Ideally, I would love to see the consequent encroachment. So that's the 4 hour here. Let's drop down to the 1 hour. The 1 hour, we have a fair value gap here. It's the last fair value gap. So let's see if we wick into this. The 1 hour BISI sitting right there. We have a lot of low resistance liquidity, so it doesn't surprise me if we get this pushed down. I'm not interested in shorts, so I am okay with this running these lows. We got even relatively equal lows down here. So I expect us to stab into this. And then we were already started low, below midnight open, relatively close to midnight open. So I'm going to look at this as potential manipulation. Is this short-term manipulation? We're yet to find out. Is this, the morning session manipulation lower and we get an afternoon session move higher? We're not sure yet. We got to get some more context for that to take place. But as you can see, we ran this and we're sitting here, okay? All right, so there is the lows here, and then we also have this low sitting right here. Let's see. Okay, we got a swing low, sell side liquidity sitting right here. All right, so that's I'll get that nice and large on my screen so you guys can see that nice and clearly here. Going back to the 1 hour, this is me. I'm verbally processing through this, guys. I've looked at the chart barely. But I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. All right, so I like this reaction. Do you see how strong this reaction? See how strong that reaction is? Let's make sure there's nothing on the 30-second. All right, got 37 seconds left. I really like the way that looks, guys. Now, typically, when we start moving above midnight open, we want to see a 5-minute close. So we got the 15-minute sitting right here, but I'm looking just for a quick run to this high. That would give us that's 12 handles from the close of this fair value gap. So we're looking at that right there. To me, this is a light bulb moment. Okay. Here's what I want. If we are not going to run this, I don't want it to run it barely and then reverse. I would rather the bodies respect the halfway point of this fair value gap, which it looks like it is. I would rather it close down here than close just right here, right? So as we continue to watch, it changes our perspective of the context of these candles as these candles begin to close on the lower end of this fair value gap. So if we're going to get a close, it needs to be obvious and clear, and it needs to be have some momentum on it, right? Because we already have a down closed candle right here that isn't telling us where order flow is going, but when we have wicks way up here, it kind of does. It tells us, hey, we're rebalancing this imbalance and we want to move lower. That's kind of what this is telling me. What the structure is showing me right here. It's not showing me that it's bullish. However, that could change at any moment. Now that we got this candle, we have new information. We went up right to the consequent encroachment of this fair value gap, right? So now we could wick lower and we could close, and that would be very interesting to me because this candle gave us more context, right? We're watching every candle to give us context on what's happening. Tell me if you guys see any SMTs down here. I haven't looked to see if we got any SMT. Wilhelm. How you doing, my friend? Good morning. Glad to have you. Now see how we got 8 seconds left here? That's probably going to run without us now. Seven minutes left on this, on the 15-minute. Let's drop down to the 5-minute candle here. So we got a break we're running into. We didn't grab the sell side liquidity right here. We did grab these equal lows. So it's enough for me to want to go long, but if we hit these highs, that changes it. And I'm not going to take it for like one handle, two handles, right? And it looks like it's going to run without us here. And if it doesn't and it leaves that right there and retraces, that may be interesting, but I doubt it's going to happen. It's probably just going to hit it right now. See, there it is. So there was the opportunity, just disappeared. So now what we're watching for, we have a bunch of small fair value gaps all in here on the 5-minute. This isn't my favorite. And we have our target at our the previous Thursday's highs, which is the beginning of the weekly or the daily fair value gap. Let's see here. I'll put that up there. So that's kind of the target. That's our initial obvious light bulb target. Okay. So there wasn't an opportunity here on the 1 minute. Now what I'm looking for is some expansion here, and then a potential retracement down to the midnight, the previous day open, or this overlapping with this breaker right here. We'll also have a 5-minute fair value gap here in about 50 seconds. So we'll be looking for that as an opportunity. Good morning, DDT. 1 minute SMT. Okay. All right, so 18 seconds, and basically what I'm looking at is this is our SMT right here, or excuse me, our change in state of delivery. Do you see that? We have our change in state of delivery, which also is our low, high, lower, low, which also form as a breaker, okay? So I'm looking at this as potential draw an entry right around here for an expansion higher. We do not want it to go long when we're already expanding, okay? We made equal highs right here. Do you see that? We just made some equal highs. Oops. There's our equal highs. And see what happens right here. This is kind of my idea right here. I want to see a 1 minute change in state of delivery. Okay, so basically I'm not going to take the stab into this to go long. I want to see the close. I want to see a bullish candle close above these down close candles. I want to see a 1 minute change in state of delivery. So we did hit the breaker or the wick high, which is enough. If we start getting a close above this, that might give us the momentum. Okay, so it may have already grabbed this. Do you see the wick high? This constitute as the breaker too. I wanted to come down to the body. All right, there's a 30-second here. If we get a 30-second close, I might take that. There's the close right there. I'm going to watch this, and we're going to see if this goes right here. You got to be kidding me. I had my handles on there, guys. It got stopped out at break even right there. I'm glad I moved my stop to break even. Let's see if I could have got 10 handles, been done for the day, and been out, but that's okay. Now, before I look at going long again, I wanted to grab the liquidity on the downside right here. So I wanted to grab the swing low here, stab into the 5-minute order block, and then look at taking that long. Do you see how we closed? We disrespected this 30 seconds. So I'm not liking that. I need more context. I'm not just going to get long to go take this now, which it probably is going to run these highs, which sucks, but it is what it is. It got me out. It stopped me out here on this close. I moved my stop to break even, and I'm glad I did, because I would have been out on that trade because it closed below the 30 second. Okay. So opportunity's gone on that one. I'm okay. I'm fine with eval or live PA accounts. The price action is good enough for a live PA account. We're not in straight consolidation, but we're running right now. All right, so there's our wick into the high of the around 830. We're still looking at our targets to be up here, but we're looking for another opportunity. I am bullish on the day, looking for price to eventually come up to the consequent encroachment of this daily fair value gap. I'm really irked that I got stopped out on that 30 second. Because I took that 30 second long base off of this breaker. It just retraced and hit me. That irritates me. So as you can tell, we have the right idea. We just, price action just didn't work. This could be an institutional order flow entry drill. See how we barely wicked down into this fair value gap? Let's see what happens with this candle. If we're really intentional and it really wants to move, it will move from there and it will start expanding higher. If you like the content so far, guys, consider giving a like on the stream. I greatly appreciate it. Your likes do help. It's free. Doesn't cost nothing. And it just tells YouTube that you guys like what you're watching. So now I'm not taking this as a push higher. We've already grabbed a level of liquidity here. If I was going to take a long into this daily, I really want it to play in here a little bit more. I wanted it to play in here a little bit more. Come down. Show me that it's resistance. Show me it wants to not run lower. Find support. And then maybe either get an inversion or take it off of a wick candle that's showing we want to support this. So that's the idea there. Just with the context that we want to run into this daily fair value gap. By the way, for those that have done or used the code for 80% off Apex, I am one away, and I'll be able to get a new code. So I'm grateful for those of you that have used it. If you use Apex, consider using this code, hopefully for just one last time, and then I'll be able to get a new DTJ code, a Day Trading Jesus code. Okay. All right, so now let's see what happens here. Are we going to inverse this? I'm not looking at going short. I'm not looking at playing short, but I'm looking at context. We have a fair value gap right here. NQ did hit high, so it makes it not an A+ type setup. But I would look at this because I'm looking at this as my context. I'm not going to take this if it inverses. I'm not. I just, because we hit this high, I'm looking for maybe a little bit deeper retracement. I think that's just my safer play. So here's equilibrium right here. So I think I want to wait till we get down to at least 50% of this range that we ran. Get into discount, maybe hit this breaker again, and then I'll look at an opportunity to go along there. I think that's what I'm going to look for. When I see this candle and I've made a decision I'm not going to take it, and I see that, just, it makes me so happy. It makes me so like, oh my gosh, okay, I had the right analysis. I'm not crazy, right? But patience is everything in this case. Okay, so here we stopped at the previous day. I would have loved to see a little bit more, but we could still see. All right, that's a 30-second. I'm more interested in that, considering we are at the midnight open and previous day high. I'd be okay. We have a 5-minute change in state of delivery that have closed above. That is closed in above the midnight open, so I'm okay with context running higher. I just need my opportunity to go. So if we get down into this level, what I'm looking for is a 1-minute change in state of delivery to the upside. So I want to see a close above a 1-minute candle to show me we may change direction. Basically a swing low. The 1 minute's gone, so we only have a 30-second there. We're not redelivering from anything. We actually made equal lows right here. I'm not going to take this because there's equal lows and we grabbed this high already. So even though this looks nice, it probably will work out. I'm not going to take it. It looks good, but we made equal lows here. We grabbed liquidity here. I think we're moving higher, but I I'm not sold on it. It'll probably work, but I'm okay sitting out. All right, so it just disrespected that 30-second. Do you see that? That makes me happy. I'm glad on my decision on that. We disrespected that 30-second, and yeah, we got equal lows right here as well. What does the 1 minute look like? Really, still nothing on the 1 minute, nothing on the 2 minute. We got a 3 minute fair value gap there, but what does a 15 minute look like? We have a 15 minute change in state of delivery. We grab liquidity there. Yeah, I'm sitting on my hands for a minute, guys. I'm going to sit on my hands for a minute. I'm going to sit on my hands for a minute. I think the main reason is we're targeting a high that already swept this high. And while I want to obviously run for this, I just need something where I feel confident that price is going to start moving in that direction. I don't want to get in too early, because what happens when you get in too early? You're going to get manipulated out. You're going to get a retracement that runs against you because it's not time yet, right? I do like this. I think I'm looking at the time. It's 9:56. It's 9:56 right now, so we're in a macro time, so this makes this a little more attractive. If you guys think I'm contradicting myself, I'm verbally processing in the moment. That's what that is. I'm verbally processing in the moment. You guys get the benefit of hearing that. Five looks good for a retracement already, and we could see an expansion here. Let's see what price wants to do. Dollar seems to be breaking into its consolidation, which could be telling. Breaking out of its consolidation. Yeah, it's also, though, it's a no news day. That's the only thing, CM. That's my only concern. No news day. I think it's a retracement day into this area, and then I think we'll expand lower. Okay, I'm waiting. I don't want this to go too high here. Waiting for it to close a little bit lower. I'm going to wait and see what happens on this candle here. It probably could just run without me, but I'm watching for a little bit of a retracement down in here. All right, I'm going to take that right there. Not liking this candle here. I'm gonna, if we get a pushback a little bit higher, I'm gonna move my stop to break even. I don't like. All right, stops to break even. It's either going now or it's gonna break. Don't do that. All right. There's another stop for break even. I'll take break evens over being. See how slow this is? I just don't like it. Now it's probably going to run. All right, there it is. So the trade worked. I just didn't like where it was going, how slow it was going. I got in high. I was waiting for the retracement on this candle right here. I wanted to come back and touch the 30-second. It didn't, so I got my entry up here. So once we got to break even, once we moved to break even and we ran this high right here, that's when I put my stop to break even. So I moved my stop to break even once we hit this high. Right here, I moved my stop to break even and when we ran that high. And then this candle right here wicked down into it, stopped me out, and then ran. That's okay. Hey, when I look at my account, it says green. So because my stops were right above my break even point. So I'm okay. I just didn't like my biggest thing, guys, on this, and it just comes with time that I'll get better even myself, is we have 1, 2, 3 relatively equal highs, and when this closed above that, I was not like, oh man, this is perfect. Perfect would have been right here. And then perfect would have been if we got in right there, and as soon as we hit those highs right here, I would have moved my stop to break even. That's like my ideal type of setup. But because we ran these equal highs, I'm just less confident. I mean, that's the honest truth. Less confident when we run these equal highs that we may move higher. We may get a bigger retracement. So I was waiting for this retracement to come down into this the 30-second fair value gap again and look at that as my potential entry. We didn't get that, so I got a less than ideal entry, which eventually, when I moved my stop to break even, got stop out. Okay, that's basically how that worked. Does that make sense? Hopefully that, I mean, IFVGs are not like, the savior of day trading, but they're very good and you can move your stop to break even fairly quickly. And I would rather have a higher win rate, and a break even does not count against me. I'd rather move my stop to break even as soon as I can and get stopped out on the trade than be down 30 points because I didn't. That happened to me a couple times last week because I wasn't able to get my stop to break even soon enough. We got an order block inside a bearish fair value gap, bullish fair value gap. So a bearish order block inside a bullish fair value gap. If we close below this bearish order block, we should run for these potentially. I'd like to see it hit this 5-minute change in state of delivery. That's really what I would like to see. It doesn't look like we're going to get that though. So it looks like it's just going to respect this. It's respecting the consequent encroachment for the most part, which tells me we're probably going to continue higher. Is that a 49ers mug I see? No, it's Kansas City. My kids are big Kansas City Chiefs fans. We live in the Midwest, so they're the closest NFL team. And they love Patrick Mahomes. I mean, most people like him. I got it from my. I got it as a. I coach my football teams, or my flag. I coached my son's flag football team, and we were the Chiefs. And so as a gift for coaching our team, they gave me that mug. You will probably never see me wear any Kansas City Chiefs gear or any other NFL gear or anything like that. Boo, Bills. I just like, if I'm gonna watch football, it needs to be somebody. I'm a fan. I'd rather play than watch, but if I'm gonna watch, I want to watch somebody. I don't like watching a specific team. So the somebody on the Chiefs, obviously you got some talent on the Chiefs that I enjoy watching, right? I'll watch, like, I love watching the Niners McCaffrey. I'll watch him all day. Like, I think that's so much fun watching. And my son, he's a mini running back in the making. So, all right, here's a 1 minute. This looks obvious. You see that? You see that? All right. Josh Allen. Yeah, Josh Allen is fun to watch. This is aggressive, guys. This is probably, when this closes, is going to run here. But the downside is you got a large candle where we could wick 15 points. So let's see. Let's see if it just pushes, or if we get what happens here, right? So we could get, that's 20 handles right there. But are we going to retrace, and how many points are we going to retrace, right? That's 15, 16 handles for a retracement right there. That's the hard part on taking something like this, is you see this retracement right there? So we retraced 10 handles right there after we closed below this 1 minute fair value gap. This is the hardest part on these types of plays right here. I would rather have this run. I'd rather have this play out and then get a nice inversion right here to play to the upside, because ultimately my draw on liquidity is higher. That's ideal. You know who I was really rooting for last year, though? I was really rooting for the Lions. I really wanted to see the Lions make it to the AFC or NFC championship game, at least, because it's been so long for them. They were like major all-time underdogs of all time. Really wanted them to pull it out. All right, so look at this candle right here. That's called an institutional order flow entry deal. If we are running for these lows, what will happen? It will wick up into the fair value gap barely and then push lower aggressively. Sometimes when you are on the right side of the move, you can take an entry on these and you can expect an expansion lower, because it's just going to wick in there and grab it. All right. Me too. Their coach is awesome. Yeah. All right, so there's the lows right there. We just hit the wick high of the 5-minute. I'm wanting it to come in down into this fair value gap. I really was wanting this fair value gap entry. And then a change in state of delivery to the upside. Give me a second. I'm going to fix this screen right here. It should be up. I don't know why it isn't. I'm changing. I was trying to switch screens and my chart's not up on there, so. I'm working on it here. Come on. See, it's on the 3. I wanted this one to work. Yeah, it's not working. Sorry, guys. Go back to the other screen. I wanted to change it up a little bit. All right, so now that we hit it, I'm not taking it on the stab. I want to see where this closes. It looks extremely aggressive, so I want to give it a minute. Probably literally a minute or 30 seconds at least. We're also hitting the 5-minute order block. So if you look at the 5-minute, that's where we're sitting here. And that's kind of what I'm watching, is the 5-minute order block to see for a long entry. So we're on the, that's still the 30-second. All right. Obviously, it's being very aggressive. So I'm not, that whole idea is now gone, right? Well, on the 30-second here, we got this 30-second fair value gap to these equal lows, or the low that we didn't actually grab. This is the last fair value gap. So if we break this one, there's a good chance we're running for this low and this sell side liquidity in this 1 hour BISI. I'm not interested. I want to see this play out, but not yet. I need this low to run. These lows right here. All right, so we grab that liquidity. Let's see what happens here. Excuse me. Okay, so we closed below this. Obviously, it didn't go anywhere. We're not looking for shorts. We're still looking for our higher time frame long. Good day, everyone. Hey, what's up, Mags? How you doing, my friend? This is an eval. I'm seeing if we are just a wick lower and going to move higher. So this is an eval trade. Missed my entry there. Or missed my exit on that. I'm going to take some size off there. I'm going to leave one contract to see if it's going to run. It hit 40 points, and that's what I wanted, and I missed my exit, so. Yeah, we'll exit there. I was trying to front run this inversion right here. That's what I was looking for. So we'll still look at that as an opportunity. But still, we got 30 seconds. All right, this is to me a clear close above that's going to happen here. I just don't like how high it is. All right, I took a long right there. Obviously, that's the close above. We're looking for a target here. Probably going to stop me out right there. It's probably, I still expect this to run this high. That's kind of where I'm expecting it to run. We'll see where this candle closes. I want it to close green. It did close green, just barely. So it didn't hit our target, but we moved our stop to break even. We got about 8 handles out of that, 9 handles out of that. What was that at? That's 7 handles. 7 handles copied on multiple accounts. I only copied 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 accounts. I really wanted to see this play out here. That's honestly a little disappointing. I held my position longer than I normally do because I wanted to see this high, which stopped me out. I moved my stop above break even, so it was a winning trade, but still, this is what I wanted to see. So it tells me price action's getting a little choppy back and forth, and I'm just not as interested. It's not as appealing. This does look, we're still respecting this. Really do want to see this because obviously our higher target is this. We're at 10:30 right now. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to wait till we get to the macro time and see if we get anything set up. I want it to run, and you have a better opportunity of it running during a macro time. So while this may work for this high, it may not give us the push that we really are looking for. And it's all around equilibrium. Do you see that? We're all around the midnight open, previous day high. It's just not the best. It's 50-50. So that just stopped out right there. So if you were to hold in, you're doing the true trade. We took a trade. We put our stop to break even sooner just to protect our profits. And it ended up running against us and invalidating the trade right here at the 1027 candle. Okay. Now, trades inversions are just going to become less and less quality, especially since we are inside this range right here. From this swing low to this swing high. Right? Just everything in between here is just less quality type setups. So I would protect your profits. Go to an eval account if you don't care about evals as much. I like this trade here. Oh, it's not going to let me. So I'm on the other screen here. Gotta go. Have a great day. All right, man. DDT, thanks for being here, man. We'll see you. I think I might actually be here tomorrow, so we'll see you guys tomorrow, potentially. If not, for sure, Wednesday. And it does seem like we want to run for this sell side right here. That's the feeling I'm getting. But are we going to take it? I'm not. In fact, just stand on that point. I will be right back. I am going to use the restroom. Okay, we're sitting back here. Looks like absolutely nothing has happened. Just a lot of wikis. A lot of wikis. We're sitting here waiting for the macro time to show up. We got about 10 minutes before then, seeing if anything shows up for us. But like I said, my ideal scenario is going to be we run the sell side liquidity, get out of this leg, create a new leg, and then run for the daily fair value gap. I think that's the light bulb moment. Anything here just isn't as attractive to me unless we just get a really strong bullish candle. I'll say this again for those on here. I am, for all of you that have used the Apex code in the chat, thank you. I am one away for being able to put in my request to get a new Apex code. And once I'm able to get that, I can get rid of this long combination of letters and do something that's more memorable and easy for you guys to use. So I appreciate that. If you guys want to use that code, hopefully this will be the last time anybody will use it today or tomorrow, and I should be getting a new code from Apex that's easy to remember. I don't know. I'm curious. What would you guys like for a code? What do you think would be a good custom code? Should I do like DTJ? Should I do like, go cheesy and go Jesus saves? Jesus saves 80. Jesus saves 90. I thought about that, but I thought that was kind of cheesy. But a simple DTJ would be pretty simple, day trading at Jesus. But if you got any ideas, drop them in the comments. I'd be interested. I'd be interested to know. So everything in here is just not obvious. I mean, it's clear, but it's not the run sell side liquidity like this type of trade right here where we purge the sell side and then we start moving the other direction. This was my first trade, but I got stopped out at break even on this one, which was a great move overall and ended up running these highs right here. That's the trade I wanted to take. Disappointed I didn't get it. Five minutes till the macro time here. I think I might take this, guys. See what happens here. Close, no close. No close. I want to see a close on the 5 minute right here. I want to see the 5 minute close above the midnight open. I'm not interested in this anymore. I'm not going to take it. So that would be the close. I want to wait for the 5 minute to close to see if we're going to go longer. All right, I'm going to take a long right here. I'm taking it off of this breaker. So I am long right now. Stops to break even just in case. Looking for this draw on liquidity. I want to see a push right now. We're pretty close to the macro time. 1 minute. I just don't want it to. It's stabbed into this tiny fair value gap right here. I'm just looking for an expansion. So it's a free trade right now. I want to see it push higher in my favor. 30 seconds. So entry was this breaker right there. All right, stopped out there. We'll see what happens if it wants to keep this, respect this. All right, we'll take that again right there. I want to see that. I'll stop out at 10 handles. Right here. I'll move my stop to break even when we push higher. Stops to break even. We're looking for this high again. Come on. Come on. Just give me the TP. You gotta be kidding me. Come on. I'm gonna just take profits there. That pisses me off. It's probably gonna work in my favor now. So I got out once we hit that and we started retracing. I got about 7 handles on that. 5 handles on that. We're in the macro time too. That's what's irritating. I really wanted that to run right away. The reason I got out is because I got in at a horrible position, so I wasn't going to let it run against me. No, I don't do any crypto. I just do I just do Nasdaq. I'm still watching this breaker here. I want to see breaker here. We're still respecting this 30-second or this 1 minute fair value gap inversion. Yeah, I don't do anything with crypto. Not a fan, really. I still want to see this find support here and move higher. I mean, it's to me the obvious move. If we get a purge of liquidity right here, just a push lower, and then we bounce back, that's to me what would be attractive. Yeah, it should have ran earlier, and you can see that it's not, man. This, I would call this, guys, I'd be getting off stream. I'd be done. I'd be done on the day. There's a 3-minute here, but that's why I got out. Yeah, CM's trash, 100%. This just honestly, like I said, really what I want to see happen is I want to see the sell side ran first, and then I'm gonna look for a long. I think that's the most obvious scenario. Waiting for liquidity to be grabbed to get out of this leg. So this price leg right here. Once we get out of that price leg, then we could potentially see that move higher. It sucks, guys. I hate doing streams where we got trash for setups, because then it's like, well, what kind of trade are you taking? That was how'd you get break even? You know, that trade didn't work out, because it's literally just not very good price action. Let's see. I want to see. I want these to run. These need to run, man. We got equal highs here though. Just, it's so irritating. Like, nothing is a plus, but it's like good enough to where you're interested in taking. So you got these equal highs here. If we get a, let's see what it looks like on the 1 minute. You got a 1 minute. It's a large for value gap though. We grab liquidity. These are equal highs, relatively equal lows. You know what's most irritating is when you're up 10 handles, and I talk about multiple times, get your 10 handles and get out, and I didn't. So when I'm sitting here thinking, just reflecting on poor decisions that I made, I see 2 poor decisions that I made, and 2 of them are I was at 10 handles and I didn't take profit and I got stopped out for break even, or 3 or 4 or 5 handles in the green. So that is my first, like, and I think the biggest reason is I'm only trading one contract on, and the rest are copied. So when I'm only trading one contract, I can't size down. I can't, take size off, or can't, take partial profits. So not the greatest day of trading in my opinion, for my own. I still I want this high and I want this low. right, so here's 15-minute. We have a 15-minute change in state of delivery right here. This is just too big of a breaker for me to really want to consider. I mean, it's 43 handles. But that's what price is doing. Okay, let's see if price hits this level here. It says we got 5 minutes till 11 o'clock. We're still in the macro time. Let's see that hit. How many of you are at work, at an office job, at a computer, and you're trading, doing this, trading this, or sitting in front of the charts on the stream here? I'm just curious. Or maybe it's, if you're other part of the world, it's probably the evening or early morning for many of you as well. After work, that's convenient, man. Being able to go to work, be done, and sit down and do some trading, do education. I think that's the best. Man, that's nice. And here in the States, it's really difficult for people because you got, market opens at 9 New York time, 9:30 New York time. If you're on the West Coast, you would start basically trading at 6:30, which you could actually do 6:30 to 7:30 or 8. You get an hour and a half, and then you go to work. So on the West Coast, you could do it pretty easily. But Midwest and East Coast, it's a lot more difficult to be able to take that time. Oh, totally, Sons of Rhythm. Yeah, if you got kids, it's definitely more difficult. There's just another level of balancing the whole, you know, I'm working kids. I'm trying to do this and giving them quality time, you know. It's definitely that 100% agree with that. I got all 3 of my kids at home right now. But in the morning time, I have them do all their stuff. They have their quiet time. They do their math homework. They do they do 10 to 15 pages of reading, and then they write me a little report on what they've read. All right, there's sell side right there. Now, this I probably a push lower here, probably fill in some of this, but I want to see it run the other way now. Yeah, so they do all that, and then after they do all of their daily tasks that I have for them, then they get to play 30 minutes to an hour of video game. And then that's it for the day. Then I have them practice their if they're in sports, I have them do, you know, agility drills, catching drills, shooting drills, and then if they're in music, they practice their music. All right, I'm looking at higher time frame right now, guys. I'm trying to identify. Um, I'm set on my higher time frame analysis. It may not happen this morning. It may happen in the afternoon, but I've noticed that when my analysis I'm giving, it ends up getting hit. It's just not in the session that I'm expecting. If I'm in the AM session, I'm looking for, you know, that daily breaker. I'm noticing that it's happening in the afternoon session. So I'm just choosing to be more patient. And we got these equal highs here now. I do like that. I really want that. So this is 15-minute. We grab liquidity. There's nothing on the 4-hour that we do have low resistance liquidity to the downside. I wish there wasn't 2 fair value gaps here. I wish it was 1. Okay, to the tick on the sell side here, that's a signature in price in itself, where we come back up, hit the low of the range, and then a continuation lower potentially. So I'm gonna say we're gonna run for this low here. Let's see if that is what happens here. I'm not taking this. I really want the long, but we're just doing this to see if it actually hits here. I want to see an aggressive candle here, just like we saw this aggressive candle, except I want to see it going this direction and not grabbing these highs. Looking, this is probably I'll probably be done here shortly. Technically, this is still in play. Is that equal lows right there? We got equal lows right here. Got equal lows sitting right here. Let's look at what yesterday's range was. Yesterday's range was this low. That makes that equilibrium right there. All right, what am I looking at? If you're like, what the heck is he talking about? I was looking for the previous day range. So the previous day range was this right here, from this low to this high, and I'm looking for equilibrium. And I want equilibrium. I think I want equilibrium to be tapped from the previous day's range. And then potentially that would be somewhere around 19,167, and then a push higher. But we're about outside of the macro time, so I think I'm going to be done for today, guys. It's kind of dragging on. It's not been the most exciting. I'll plan on being on most likely tomorrow. I'll drop a comment in X if you follow me on X to let you guys know. But thanks for being here. Thanks for support. Wish it was a little bit better day trading. We got 2 break-even trades, basically, is what happened today. So we didn't get out really any positive moves. So we'll see if we can do something tomorrow.